cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. And you can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and or subscribe. Welcome back to another episode of True Tuesday. Today just happens to be the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month. And I felt what better way to end the month by talking about mom's personal mental health issues. And when I say mom, I'm speaking of the Mind of Men. You know, I thought, fellas, that we could all share. Well, if you guys recall, when we spoke on mental health earlier in the month, you know, I mentioned how I felt we all had mental issues. I don't know if any of y'all caught that, but I really do feel that everybody has a mental issue. So I thought we could share some personal stories that that might contribute to a certain mental issue that you feel you have. Like myself personally, you know, early on in my early years, childhood years, you know, I dealt with depression. I can recall being teased a lot in elementary.
As big as you are.
I wasn't big back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't this big back then.
Ain't nobody finna tease him right now, I'm telling you.
But yeah, man, I can remember being teased, you know, walking home from school.
Yeah.
And the way I dealt with it was basically laughing with the guys that were teasing me instead of letting them see how it really affected me.
Right.
You know, once I got home, I could recall, you know, just breaking down then.
Right.
So that caused me to be depressed at times at an early age, and I think that contributed to me also being shy like I was as I went grew up and went through life, middle school and high school and so forth.
Right.
And it's other things that have occurred that I think caused me to be deal with anxiety as well.
Yeah.
You know, different stages of my life. You know, and I think we all deal with these things and not knowing, which is why, you know, I think it's very important that we talk about, you know, these type of issues. How about you fellas? You guys have any stories that y'all feel like sharing?
Well,
I mean, we
I
kind of know.
Yeah, because y'all still looking at me even from
you
the
have
other
a
show.
serious mental issue.
I mean, y'all. So okay, stemming back. Okay, so I'm going because there's 4 of us on this panel, so I don't want to take up too much because I have so many. We'd be here all week, but mainly, so I'm gonna circle back to my childhood, but I'm gonna start at my adulthood when I was joined the military. A lot of my issues, I would say, and I wouldn't even call them issues. It was more along the lines of habits, things I didn't do before I joined the military. Looking around always, you know. We had a general order, and it was the longest one. We had 13 general orders, but this one particular general order, it's the longest one, but it's the only one I can remember.
That's 5, huh?
Yeah.
Was that 5?
Yeah. To walk my post in the military manner.
I don't remember.
Keeping always on alert and observing everything within sight of hearing. I can't stop doing that. Like when I go outside, ain't nobody after me.
So you think you paranoid?
But I think somebody's after me. Ain't nobody after me. But the way they train you, I was 17 going on 18 when I joined. So you got to kind of imagine my first tour was Persian Gulf, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm 17 going on 18.
Right.
And I'm hearing missiles inbound, starboard side, all hands break for shot.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's a different
I'm
type of
18.
Yeah.
I just got through playing with my Tonka truck.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not, you know, and I'm grown, but still I mean, it's in a way I kind of still like it because I'm always watching my back, because in this day and time you need to watch it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So I'm grateful for that reason, but at the same time it's not the way I'm supposed to. I'm not supposed to walk up the house watching my back. Ain't nobody after me. I don't sell dope.
Yeah.
I have a regular 9 to 5.
Right.
Yeah, but again, in today's society, you really have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually turns into a good trait, if you ask me. I mean,
Yeah, but at when you catch yourself doing it, like I said on one of our other shows prior, I watched the baby. Shout out to the baby.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan, and I watch his lives. When he go live, if you ever watch him, he always looking left, looking right. He never hardly stares at the camera for a full minute because he's always looking at his surroundings.
watching.
Yeah, and to me, I don't like that way of living. Having
Right.
to, you know, always look around, and I don't have to because I'm not a rapper. I don't sell dope. I'm just a regular Joe Blow.
Right.
But for me to do that, it's I know it's not normal.
Yeah. Right.
But
You think
that's
it's obvious?
normal.
You know, if somebody that's watching you, you think that they could tell that you're paranoid like that by just watching?
No, I mean, I'm not.
You think you do it that much?
Yeah,
Is what I'm asking.
I'm not crackheadish with it. I'm not crackheadish with it. It's more of, you know, I peek out my peek hole before I walk out the door. I don't do that too many times because I think somebody's on the other side with a, I've been watching too many movies too. You know, on the other side with a pistol trying to shoot me in the eye. So I don't peek out the peek hole. Sometimes I use, if I can, find a little crack or crevices through the door before I open it, or I feel the door. See, don't nobody do that. And then another thing I do, when I go out to restaurants or someplace new that I've never been, I bet you no one. I go in and the first thing I do is look for exit signs.
So do you
Exits.
You
Exit.
see
I look
that,
for exits. I look for ways out.
You see that as, so your mental issue that you have is, what do you think that is? The actual mental issue.
I'm not gonna call it paranoia. I'm gonna call it OCD-ish, so to speak. Because I don't know.
The examples you gave,
Yeah.
to me, those examples are someone who's just very cautious.
They're too cautious. That's almost paranoia to me. To
Okay.
me, but I'm not
So-
paranoid. I'm not nervous. And I know I'm not out. No, to me, I'm not paranoid.
So if you're not nervous,
Uh-huh.
that tells me that you don't have any anxiety. So you can't say that you suffer from anxiety. So you said you're not paranoid. So
It sounds like on the lines of paranoia to me.
I can say in some cases it can be paranoia. I can say, but not. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
like a little.
yeah.
Could be paranoid.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I don't know.
No.
But I know I'm not crazy. Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
That could be argued.
He told us not to laugh, but he laughed.
I was
himself.
laughing at this clock.
The clock's funny now.
I think that I may suffer from PTSD, but I think the PTSD had become normalized until it was actually triggered. I think that most black folk from the ghetto
Right.
suffers from
that.
some sort of PTSD.
Yeah, great.
But the PTSD, the trauma itself, can come from different angles. It can come from family members.
Right.
It can come from the pimps and hoes you see in the street, the gunfire, all of the gunshots and so forth, right? But my PTSD actually comes from white folk, and how, and I know that we covered this topic before, the police, but I actually, because of an experience I had with the police, I'm on high alert. It's like I'm stressed when I'm around white police.
Yeah.
But during my military experience, I experienced something called WOG Day.
Oh,
And
yes.
WOG Day,
Yeah.
for those who don't know, is when you are a first-time sailor that's crossing the equator.
Crossing that equator.
And when you cross the equator, you go through a hazing, right?
Oh.
And the hazing is it's kind of borderline torture. And what
Starts at 5 a.m.
what triggers it for me is how I was treated by white folk.
Yeah.
And so now I'm on high alert all the time when it comes to white folk. And my trust level for white folk is questionable, I guess, you know,
Right.
because of all of the trauma that I experienced. But again, I think that most blacks in the urban community, ghettos or whatever around the world, suffer some sort of PTSD or some kind of mental issues.
I
Right.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that.
I agree. Yeah. Because again, I had different types of things that I've been affected. Like even as a kid, I don't know. Some of y'all remember me when I was a kid. I had a lazy eye. Y'all remember? You remember Freddie? Kid.
Oh, you got that fit?
Yeah.
I still remember the rhyme we used to say.
What you said? What was it?
I ain't gonna say your real name, but so and so, he can't see. You hold up, boy. You're thinking three.
It gotta be like that rap song. He blind. You can't see. I remember that.
I didn't know you got it fixed.
I got it fixed in the military. I sure did. Thank you, military. Sure appreciate that.
It went over his head.
It went way over my head.
That's all right.
So I don't cuss on this podcast, so I'm gonna say F you. I'm just messing. I'm not gonna say. I'm just. But when I had lazy eye, I was lazy eye, dead eye, blind eye, eye to eye, heart, whatever they called me. But I can't say I guess I built up an immunity for that. That didn't really bother me.
And that's the thing, just like in the scenario or the story that Freddie G just gave.
Yeah.
We all grew up in the hood, and we pretty much became immune to our surroundings. But you bring someone that's not used to what we were dealing with in our hood to our area, and they would definitely be paranoid or scared because they're not used to seeing the things that we used to seeing.
Right.
To us, it was normal.
It was normal, right? Seeing
But
people die.
I do
and,
agree that
yeah.
some of the things that we witnessed coming up, definitely could have contributed to everybody having PTSD, if not other mental issues.
So just imagine the people in Chicago in the 80s and 90s, hell today, but
Think about New Orleans, man.
New Orleans and California, the Crips and
earthquakes.
Bloods.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
A lot of places, man.
Yeah.
I would say mine, now I wasn't in the service or nothing, but I would say that my portion of the PSD would be when I drive from place to place. Oh man, and the people doing what they want to do and not following the rules. I'm nuts at this particular time.
Slash, I'm not finna let you.
Every time.
I ain't finna let you slide, bro. I always get Freddie G. You forgot that T. You put the PSD. I thought we was gonna play PlayStation.
PTSD.
I thought we had a
PTSD.
PlayStation. Man, all I know I play is Mortal Kombat.
Now, that sounds to me like OCD.
That's OCD.
OCD-ish to me.
Yeah, that's OCD.
Yeah, well then I agree with that. Because
But that still falls. That would fall under mental health because you find yourself over cleaning. Like, I'll give you another example of my childhood. This still mentally messes with me to this day. When I was growing up, I lived in a crib, apartment. We had more rats than roaches, right? But when I would come in the kitchen, I would see the roaches on the sink, and they would be drinking the water from when we would wash the dishes. We thought we washed everything out, but we didn't clean off the counter and the dish water little spots, and you would see the roaches drinking from it. That messed with me. So all my life, I stay cleaning the counter, even though there's nothing on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, ain't no roach. I don't have roaches now.
Now that's OCD, right?
Yeah, I don't have roaches now, but mentally,
it
messes with me. Even if nothing on the counter, I'm still cleaning.
I ain't gonna lie, I agree with you on that, because, man, I can't stand a roach.
Yeah.
I can't stand a bug flying around, you know.
Exactly.
Especially in the house.
I mean, unless I got a watermelon.
Man, if it's a roach in the house, I'm nuts. No, you gotta die right now.
Yeah,
there is no tomorrow here. Right. I'm gonna chase your ass down till I get you.
Till you find it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Especially the flying one.
So I definitely have that. So I agree with you. Oh man.
Yeah, man, I can't stand
I'm chasing. I'm gonna kill that roach or bug or whatever it is. It's gotta go. And that's a mental.
Sitting there drinking it, all comfortable, like I'm cool with it too. When I was little, man, now let me catch a roach. Boy, look, let me tell you something.
Hey, so, having a mental issue or mental health problem is not always a bad thing, but it's just something that, again, I think if people talked about it more, because I stress, I feel like everybody is dealing with something. It's just knowing exactly what you're dealing with, knowing how to deal with it. Like I say, for me, in my early years, I was laughing with the guys that was talking about me. Yeah. So, it's important on how we deal with these situations so it doesn't affect us in a negative way.
Right.
Because, when we do allow it to get the best of us, we can deal with a lot of tragedies.
Yeah.
I think I've dealt in my lifetime, I know of 2 people that have committed suicide.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's when, these mental health issues are possibly being ignored.
You hitting it right on the nail with that, because when you look at the news, you see so much happening, death, murders, stuff like that.
Yes.
A lot of those can stem from mental health issues. So it's big all over, because, it's happening. It's not just race defined. It's everybody.
Right.
Exactly.
It's every country. Somebody's doing something. So, yeah, this is really, really big. And if we don't finally say, hey, we got issues we need to deal with, then the world will continue to corrupt, because that's all that's happening.
Right.
Hey, well, think about the celebrities, man, the pressure that they deal with on a daily basis.
Right.
They can't go to the store and be themselves.
And
which
they can't.
goes with their territory.
Right.
I understand that.
That's right.
But some of them can't handle it.
They can't.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson never could.
Well, yeah.
I mean, every time you walk outside, paparazzi, hey, Michael, how's your day?
You tired of that?
Man, come on, man. All I'm trying to do is go for a jog. I'm trying to go to the store. I'm just trying to go to Starbucks, get me a coffee.
You trying to go on a date. Here the people is.
Yeah.
You come back from the date, here the people is.
I'm watching 50 Cent. I'm like, man, he got so much resistance.
It's crazy, man.
He got so much resistance. I mean, the guy's just being so disrespectful. He got on a date with this girl. I'm like, man, shout out to 50. First of all, I ain't gonna let you embarrass me in front of any girl I'm with.
Right.
And if I'm on a date, that's probably his first time date, especially if it's the first. Man, yeah, mentally, man, that would mess with me. I'm like, man, every day I come outside, I can't just go to the store.
Mm-hmm. And they live with that.
Yeah.
Daily.
Yeah, they have to live with that.
Yeah, it gets the best of some of them. A lot of them, actually.
That can even take you away from being a normal human being at that time. You can't even go out in public without somebody. Do you want to live that lifestyle? I don't think I would, because I feel good to be able to take myself where I want to go, get out, jump out, go to the store, whatever I need to do. I ain't worried about nobody,
Exactly.
And not because of being famous, just mentally. I guess if you had that type of celebrity status, you would have to look at it mentally. You better look at it mentally. Yeah. Can I go? No, you cannot, because for one, not just the tabloids. Mm-hmm. It's people out here that'll shoot and try to kill you if they don't like you.
That.
So they mind have to really be in a safe place.
Yeah.
So mental health, that would make me crazy.
I was just thinking about that when you said he'll try to shoot you. I was just looking
Man, that would make me crazy, man.
I was looking at I don't know if it was a skit or not. It seemed serious. If it was a skit, shout out to them. But, Tyreek that played on Power.
Yeah.
He was on the elevator, and this guy gets on there, man, you need to act right with your daddy. And he was like, man, this is a show, bro. Get out of my face. And he was serious. I don't know if it was acting or not, but some people will take your part that you play and think that's you. And that's not you. And have a whole attitude. And you have to explain to them, man, this was just a play. That ain't me.
That's a compliment to the actor, though, bringing that.
Yeah, if he brought it that close to you to make you feel that like, type of way.
I want to fight you because of a show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big ups to the actor on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Power, good show.
Great show.
Like I say, we have a lot of celebrities, man, that can't really handle the fame and fortune that comes along with being a celebrity, and unfortunately, I don't know if you guys remember Stephen Boss, Twitch. He was the,
Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, he was DJ.
Yeah, I do remember Twitch. Yeah.
I heard that story.
That's one guy, man. I watched him on Ellen, and you would think,
everything was okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you watch the news the next day, and this man committed suicide.
Yeah.
And that's just. It just goes to show how important it is to discuss.
Right.
Try to just talk about whatever issues you think you may have instead of bottling them up.
Right.
Because you never know how it may affect you in the long run, man. I want to thank you guys for joining another episode of True Tuesday. Peace out. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for Women Wednesday with Freddie G. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast. And for all you YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And to all my 52 Scott faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.